guys, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss the current affairs for July 2020. And without any further ado, let's begin. So I'm Swastika. I have done my masters in political science from Jawaharlal Nehru University. I have done my honors, BA honors in political science from Delhi University. And in case you like my content, then please press the subscribe button. That's the red button at the bottom of the screen. So today we would be discussing some short news which is there in the newspaper, and then after that from the editorial page we would be discussing an editorial. So without any further ado, let's begin. So this was the news today that the Bagori range of Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve, this is in Assam, obviously has more than 55% of the world's population of one-horsed rhino. So this was in context of one-horned rhinos, and it said that more than 55% of the world's population of one-horned rhinos are from the Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve in the Bagori Range. The second piece that I found important was that despite India's repeated demands for the UN draft declaration, it goes soft on demand for reform. So we know that India is making a demand in the UN Security Council to sort of have a permanent seat, and because that the current structure of the UNSC is discriminatory in nature. We had discussed this. The article came in the news a few days back. So because of that, we wanted to sort of take this issue up, but the UN draft declaration is not taking it seriously, and our repeated demands are getting refuted. So the next article is going to be on Malabar, and this is right at the editorial page, and this is at the bottom part, this one. So this article is written by Abhijit Singh, who is the head of Maritime Policy Initiative at the Observer Research Foundation in New Delhi, and is a retired naval officer. So basically, I had this Malabar was in news a few days back, and it's been in news consistently for a long period of time, because we are trying to figure out right now. It's a trilateral navy exercise that goes on between India, USA, and Japan, and Australia is trying to join this Malabar Navy exercise, but Australia doing so could be a possible point of conflict, because China would feel personally attacked, that there is an there is a coalition of democracies that is getting formed in the Indo-Pacific region. So this basically means that right at China's doorstep, there is a coalition of democracies which is being formed, with India being there, and India and China have had worsening relations for the past few months and for the past years due to the ongoing border disputes. So Beijing would not take this positively. They would see this as an Asian NATO that is being formed in the Indo-Pacific right at their doorstep, and that it is planning to contain China's rise. So this basically is about that. So they're saying that India needs to be cautious because China can respond aggressively. We know how aggressive China's foreign policy is, how they are in dispute with almost every single neighbor of theirs, be it Philippines or be it India or be it Bhutan for the Saktan Wildlife Sanctuary. Any and all of these places China has had border conflicts with due to the aggressive nature of their foreign policy. So India needs to exercise caution, because Beijing, China is viewing this in a negative perspective, because there is a coalition of democracies which is coming right at their doorstep, knocking at their door, and they are seeing it as a threat. So we are trying to now figure out that if this exercise does take place, if Australia joins, then who is going to gain what? So USA wants to do this because they want to implement the rule-based order. We know that USA, whenever we look at international relations, USA is like the big boss, and they want to implement rule-based order everywhere, be it Indo-Pacific, be it China. They want to contain anybody who can challenge their hegemony, and China is coming forth as a competitor. that refuses to listen and is not a democracy, is extremely aggressive in its foreign policy. So USA wants to implement a rule-based order, and by being a part of this Malabar quadrilateral, soon to be quadrilateral if Australia joins, the rule-based order would be implemented. India is doing this because we want to acquire strategic capital to counter Chinese naval presence in the Indian Ocean. So every time something comes up, India mostly goes around doing things because we know from our experience in 1962 how problematic and how aggressive China can be, and we need to acquire as much strategic capital as we can. So what we do have to gain from this exercise by US being there, even though they act like our boss, is that we would sort of gain a certain amount of strategic capital which can counter Chinese naval presence in the Indian Ocean. India is also acquiring airborne surveillance assets from the USA. The Indian Navy is yet to develop the undersea capability to deter Chinese submarines in the eastern Indian Ocean. So while we are acquiring airborne surveillance assets from USA, we are yet to develop the undersea capability to deter Chinese submarines in the eastern Indian Ocean. So we are basically waiting for USA to give us technology, give us submarines, give us ideas so that we can counter China. So all this China already has, but we are waiting for USA to part with their technology, which USA is not willing to do. So USA is basically, they always want to give us outdated technology and old technology that is okay, fine. It adds to our like military stuff and everything, but it is still not the latest technology which USA wants to keep for itself. So US is super unwilling to part with their technology, and this is bad for India because China already has all this technology, and so we don't really gain a lot. So US in this sense also gains a lot. The second thing that USA has to gain is that if this military quadrilateral becomes functional, which it will probably when Australia joins, and all of these are developed countries, USA, Japan, and Australia, then this military quadrilateral will prematurely drag India into the security dynamics of the Asia Pacific. So China is already feeling threatened, and by this quadrilateral being there, India would predominantly become a US ally. So, if, for example, when the two world wars broke out, India had always had a policy of being non-aligned. So in this case, we have already picked a side prematurely without being given a choice that we are siding with USA because of this quadrilateral, and then we are deliberately by US hand being arm twisted and getting pushed into a security dynamic of the Asia Pacific, and this is becoming even more prominent because Washington has recently directed USS Theodore Roosevelt, USS Nimitz, and USS Ronald Reagan in the in that space, and China is similarly stepping up their naval presence. So India is getting dragged right into this entire mess. Yet we see for a fact that China has been very cautious and it's playing its cards very carefully because the People's Liberation Navy Army, which is the military hand of Chinese Communist Party of China, is yet to physically threaten Indian interests at the sea. So this is important to keep in mind that China has never actually threatened us at the sea, and because of that, China has also not threatened Indian naval ships, and it has not even entangled or come close. So it doesn't. So if the onus of the first move, the burden of the first move in this case would lie with India, which it is something that I definitely know that India does not want to get into a war, but the onus of the first step would lie on India because People's Liberation Navy Army is not taking the first steps, it's not threatening us, it's just, present there. So the short conclusion is that the Malabar quadrilateral will be ineffective in long term without us acquiring technology. So we know that USA is super protective about the technology they give us, and they basically give us outdated stuff and things that are like not like the most latest, the best technology. They just give us outdated stuff. So this is in fact not this quadrilateral is ineffective in terms of a long-term strategic sense, because we don't have the appropriate technology, submarine technology to counter China, which China easily has. So a cost benefit analysis needs to be done here in terms of whether we want to get dragged into this position that we are getting arm twisted into by the bigger bullies and the bigger bosses of the game. So this is something that we have to look at. So this was what he basically wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching this. If you like my content, then please subscribe, that'll be great. And comment down below if you have any doubts. I'll just get to it.